Do you think of yourself as a strong person? I've been reflecting on this a lot recently because in our society, there's a very common narrative about strength, which is that I stand strong and nothing can affect me, and I do what I want and I create no matter what anybody else tries to do. It's this very rigid idea about strength. And I mean, we see it everywhere. It's across all the stories of success, or a lot of the stories of success, this thing of being unaffected by what's going on, and sort of stamping our print, is that the right expression? Stamping our print onto our experience. And if you're somebody like me who isn't so great at doing that, it can feel like there's a very strong message that I don't have strength, or that if you don't have that quality of that rigidity, that push through and get there and that you're not strong. But I think there's another type of strength which is not celebrated in the same way, which is at least as important. And that's actually the capacity, instead of being unaffected by things and being rigid in that way and strong in that way. And I'm not saying it's not needed, it is to be strong in that way. But this other type is actually to be affected. It's the capacity to actually be with somebody else and for them to say something, maybe something emotional or difficult or anything really, and actually be strong enough to be able to be with their experience, or your experience of their experience rather. Be able to really sort of get a sense of what might be going on for them. And you can see how, with childcare, for example, how important this would be to be able to actually not just tell the child what to do, but actually to be able to notice what's going on for them. So this is a really, really different kind of strength. And as I said before, it's one that's not celebrated. But if we have it, I think we can actually adapt much better to situations than if we're only relying on that other kind of strength. So realizing this for me has actually been very helpful, because I'm not the sort of person who can use that first type of socially accepted strength all the time. It doesn't work for me. But when I pair my ability to do that first type with this other type, which I am pretty good at, it really does seem to create a much more, actually, I think it's actually more effective, because it means that I can collaborate much better with other people, and I can actually get much more joy out of an experience. Sitting watching a film, we all want to be affected in some way by what's going on. And if I'm standing firm in that first one, I can't be. I don't get access to that same level of richness. So I'd love to hear what you think about that. It's certainly made life a lot easier for me as I've understood about these two different types of strength. Both of them are needed, but it's normally, for a lot of us, that adaptable strength that needs to be elevated a little bit alongside that kind of rigid strength.